Hello, I am Donald Duke, and welcome to another episode of Bridging the Gap. I would like to talk a bit about corruption. There are two aspects to it. There's corruption of need and corruption of greed. The corruption of need is that corruption where a person, he may have a job, but his income from that job does not cater for his needs. So he's susceptible to corruption. He's susceptible to he wants to make ends meet. So to make that happen, his moral fiber is compromised. Here you have a chap, he works in one ministry or the other. He has 4 or 5 children in school. He has rents to pay. He has medical bills to cater for. And he earns maybe 30,000, 40,000 naira. It doesn't work in a society like this. However, there's also the other corruption. That's a corruption of greed. The folks who have it all, but put their hands directly into the treasury and take. Now, I'm sympathetic to the folks who are susceptible to the corruption of need. And we've got to deal with that because there's no social belt in our nation. There's no one taking care of your health bills. There's no one taking care of your children's education. The landlords ask for 3 years up front. You have poor infrastructure, poor transportation. Literally, this is a society where you are on your own. A job only puts you in a position to try to bridge the gap. It never bridges that gap. So even those folks who are working are looking for a second or a third thing to do outside. And that, if you look at the corruption pyramid, that is a wider segment of it. The corruption of greed is a corruption of placement. You must be in a privileged position, and therefore you don't have to think very hard. You really just award contracts or do a few things here and there and make billions of naira. Those ones are different. But you see, you cannot eradicate the corruption of need because it's survival of the fittest. The society has to be designed in such a way that I don't bother too much about the education of my children. I don't bother too much about their health care. I'm almost or certainly guaranteed, if not almost, but certainly guaranteed that I'll have a roof over my head. I know that having a roof over your head and not worrying about the education of your children and their health needs, and I can move about as the need arises, makes me attempt to think that I'm content. And within that bracket of contentment. But you cannot be content if you don't meet any of these needs. And therefore, you are, again, like I said earlier, susceptible to corruption. Ordinarily, the ordinary people fund the government. Our system works in the reverse. The government generates rents from a few businesses and tries to infuse it down to the people. It doesn't work that way. So in other words, government prosperity should be from a thriving population. If our government is going to work and have the resources to run the economy, then it should ensure that folks have money and pay taxes. So it's like an osmosis situation where the plant gets its nutrients from the soil and not from the leaves. So the mass of people are gainfully employed and have disposable income and can afford paying taxes. The government is better off. The government generates more revenue that way.